but no one ever cared for me. Always been looking for someone else, until I found myself. 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 Each piece of my past made me who I am. Yeah, yeah. Don't wanna be who I was. I'm stronger, baby. Yeah, yeah. And I don't really care about what people think. No, I just need myself. It's time to be my priority. Yeah, yeah. Always been caring about the rest, but no one ever cared for me. Always been looking for someone else, until I found myself. 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 Wow, wow. Until I found myself. Whoa. Until I found myself. Until I found myself.
Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Andy. This is my friend Aidan, and we are back pretending to know about football. Tom's, welcome back in, mate. Thank you for coming in. We've got a bit of a long one today. We've got plenty to talk about, even though there's not been any football for 2 days. Apart from that little cough there, Aidan, how have you been, mate?
Yeah, all right, mate. All right. These 2 days of no football haven't been very fun, but
Mm.
yeah, no, it's been good. It's been good. I've not been doing much, mate. Just working. How you been?
Yeah, not too bad, mate. I say there's been no football. Man United did actually have a little friendly with Cadiz. Obviously, it's not going to be the top draw. But yeah, we lost 4-2 in a friendly, but the level of the team we had was good enough to not get shat on. But we managed
Oh,
it.
okay.
We managed it. So yeah, it was. I don't make too much of it. I mean, it's just like game time in the legs for some of the side players, but I certainly didn't watch it. It wouldn't be something I'd be watching anyway. But yeah, other than that, real football is actually back tomorrow, mate. So we've got that to look forward to.
Yeah, boy.
Tom's is watching live from Reading. Excellent.
Lovely.
Yeah, let's get straight into it then. So, World Cup knockout stages. Last 16 games all complete. Some pretty juicy results, some juicy games. Did you get to see much of it?
Uh, Not really. I saw like highlights, mate, but obviously being at work, I didn't tend to see that much. I think I watched England. I think England's the only one I watched, to be honest.
Well, that's all that matters, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
let's flick over and have a look at how the knockout stages line up now. Like I say, England, you managed to watch beating Senegal, France beating Poland, Morocco beating Spain, Portugal beating Switzerland with an emphatic score of 6-1.
Yeah.
Netherlands, USA, Netherlands beating USA, Argentina beating Australia, Croatia beating Japan, and Brazil beating South Korea. All fairly standard, with the exception of maybe Morocco.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I'd agree.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, if you're going to go with bookies' favourites, I think all of them but Spain.
Yeah.
If we just have a quick look back to our predictions, so first of all, smashed it, with the exception of the Spain-Morocco game for yourself. And for myself, I did predict a Morocco win, but I also did predict a Japan win. So 7 out of 8 for both of us.
It's not a bad run in.
Not at all, mate.
I'll take that. No, I'll definitely take that.
Not at all. And with the results, to be honest, I mean, I predicted Japan to win over Croatia. You predicted Spain to win over Morocco. But going into the next round, do you see that changing anyway? I mean, you don't have Croatia advancing past Brazil, and I didn't have Morocco advancing past Portugal. So, in the grand scheme of things, I don't think it makes a hell of a difference to the predictions. But no, I have to say, I did watch Japan against Spain. No, Japan against Croatia, and saw the penalties. Some of the worst penalties I've ever seen from Japan. I think they're going to go home knowing that they've let themselves down with them penalties.
Yeah, I saw one. I saw one of the penalties, and I've not seen a worse hit penalty. It just like basically rolled along the floor.
Yeah, they were poor, and I can't remember who was commentating the game, but he, in other words, just said just absolutely thunderbasted it at the keeper, and then even if he guesses the right way, there's a chance it's going through his hands. But
Yeah,
none of them looked like they had a powerful strike in them. I mean, even Yoshida, you'd bet your bottom dollar that if anyone's going to score a Japan penalty, it's probably going to be him. But
yeah, to rifle it home.
absolutely. And then the other game, Morocco and Spain, it was like the exact opposite. I mean, it was
Just class.
it wasn't the best penalty shootout, but that performance by what's his name, Bonu, I don't know how you say his name, the keeper,
Yeah,
just absolutely unreal. He looked terrifying. To have to take a penalty against him, my God, he made himself look massive. He was backwards and forwards on the line. Just he made it look so easy, and it was a 3-0 penalties in the end.
yeah, and then obviously Oh, who scored the winning penalty? The Panenka.
Hakimi. Oh my
Hakimi,
god.
Jesus Christ! And then his little dance at the end. I was like, "You absolute bastard!"
Ice in the veins to Panenka the winning
Literally,
penalty. Did you know the reason behind
literally.
that celebration as well? Did you see?
No.
It was a celebration he did with, I don't know whether this was just a false link or just a bit of a thing, but he did that celebration with Sergio Ramos at PSG. And that was, I think that was his sort of way of saying that you should have taken Ramos. Like, so basically a massive middle finger to
Oh,
Spain. That's what you get for not bringing your best defender, in his opinion.
yeah,
So,
best defender in history.
so an ice cold penalty Panenka to win the shootout and shit out in afterwards. You love to see it. It's the World Cup.
Oh.
So going back, then we'll have a look at the standings again. The first two games tomorrow, which should see the first semi-final set up: Croatia versus Brazil, and then Netherlands versus Argentina. I reckon the game to watch out of them for me, I think, is going to be Netherlands Argentina. What do you think?
Yeah, absolutely. No, couldn't agree more. Could not agree more.
Brazil versus Croatia. The saying that we like the most on this show: business as usual. I just want to talk about the Brazil-Korea game. So even if you didn't watch the game, you would have seen the highlights. Can I just get your thoughts on the Brazil players dancing after the goals?
I love it. I absolutely love it, mate. They're having the time of their life.
Mm-hmm.
They're making it's the typical Brazilian thing, though, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
They do all this salsa shit.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, and it just shows like they've got such a positive attitude in their camp at the minute. Like they know they're flying, they know they've got a good chance, and fuck it, it's the World Cup. Like if I was scoring goals, mate, I'd be sat there doing all kinds of shit dancing.
Yeah.
I think it's great. So yeah, I'm all for it. What about
I
you?
get that.
Are you not a fan?
Well, I don't know how I feel about it. You know, if you're going 1-0 up against South Korea in the 7th minute, I think it's just one of them ones for me. Like, what was his name for Cameroon who scored against Brazil? Abubakar.
Abubakar,
Like,
Vincent Abubakar.
yeah, celebrate, go mad, but don't celebrate knowing you're going to get sent off. Like, just be a little bit more sensible about it, because Brazil, there's some good teams in this World Cup. They're very capable of a spanking. So when, let's say Brazil get to the final against Portugal or France or even England and just get humiliated, they're just going to be shown back clips of them going like, "Ah, yes, 4-0 against South Korea, the least favourites left in the competition." Like, I think I'm all for it. If you're going 4-0 up with 10 minutes to go, then you do your little dance. Not after every single goal. It just looks a bit cringe. Like,
I don't know. I'm a big fan of it. I loved it.
and there wasn't massive limbs in the crowd either, so it was like they were just alone out there. It's not like if the World Cup was in Brazil, there'd be
fucking carnage.
that's it. There'd be 5 players lined up dancing and about 80,000 people dancing with them. But now it's just 4 lonely dudes just doing a little jig in front of like a load of Qataris and like maybe 5,000 Brazil fans. I don't know. I like the energy. I love the energy, but I just think it's just cringe. I mean,
no, I enjoy it. I think it's ace.
yeah.
It's like when South Africa did it when they scored in the fucking World Cup. The opening goal, Shabalala, when he scored that absolute fucking belter against Mexico, the first goal of the World Cup. I remember it. He was running down the left side, mate, and he fucking hit it at that angle into the far right corner, top bins, and they all ran over to the South African fans and they were giving it.
Yeah.
I remember it. Oh, goosebumps, mate.
Yeah.
Goosebumps. I think that's why I like it so much.
I'd say, yeah, I do love it, but I just think the context matters more than anything. Like, yeah. I don't know. All right, so we've got our games lined up. The game that we're going to be looking at, of course, in more detail, is a look ahead to England versus France. Now, I'm going to stay pessimistic and say that I think France are going to win still. I would, with every part of my being, I would absolutely love to beat France, but I don't know. We'll get to our predictions at the end. Just going to cover off a couple of things that have been said. What's your thoughts about France, Aidan? Are you worried about it? Do you think we can put up a good fight, or do you think we're going to get bowled over?
I think we're going to put up a good fight.
Mm-hmm.
We're not going to get bowled over. I was shocked if we get bowled over. I'm not going to say we're not going to, because anything's possible, clearly, at this World Cup.
Mm-hmm.
But I think we're going to put up a hell of a fight, and I think we're going to see players perform to a level that we didn't know they could.
Yeah.
I think there's going to be one or two coming out to surprise us. But then I'm also concerned about Mbappe. I'm really excited to see Kyle Walker and Mbappe, because Kyle Walker's, I've seen him in a few interviews this past couple of days, and he looks ready for it. Like, he's up for this challenge.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm excited to see, because I think Kyle Walker's just going to fucking clatter him. On his first run at him, he's going to clatter him and just let him know early, don't fucking try me.
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't know. I'm excited. I'm excited. I don't think it's going to be a big scoring game, but yeah, it's going to be a hell of a game. I know that.
Yeah, it's interesting what you say about Mbappe, actually. There's quite a few people that's come out in interviews and said about Mbappe. Now, every England fan, or if not 90% of England fans, would go, oh shit, Mbappe. How are we going to deal with him? Luke Shaw and Kyle Walker, both are fullbacks who we expect to be there. But they've just played the comments down. But they have to. They can't give an interview and go, oh yeah, Mbappe's going to run rings around us. They have to say, oh no, we're not just worried about Mbappe, we're worried about X, Y, Z and others as well. Is there anyone other than Mbappe that you're particularly worried about in the France team? Or is he just the target man and he needs to be watched at all costs?
I think the forward three, really. Griezmann, not so much. I think Griezmann, I think we stick Declan Rice on Griezmann and he'll just fucking keep him out of the game. But I think the forward three of Ousmane Dembele, Olivier Giroud, and Mbappe is pretty worrying. Because Dembele looks like he's turned it on. I know he's not done much for Barcelona recently because he doesn't really get the game time, but it looks like he's going out to prove a point this tournament, and he seems to be doing pretty fucking well. And obviously Giroud, his goal scoring record speaks for itself. You know what I mean? He's France's all-time top goal scorer. So I don't think we could just go, oh, it's only Olivier Giroud. You know what I mean? Like, everyone says he's like this massive flop, but you look at everything he's won, look at the goals he's scored.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He's probably one of the most underrated players there is. So I think that forward three we've definitely got to be wary of, and we can't take it for granted.
You've got to put his clubs. I mean, it's the World Cup. You have to put his club records to one side. Like you say, he's France's all-time top goal scorer. He's very clearly working in a front three that's working amazingly together. They're doing the right things.
Yeah.
I wouldn't write off Griezmann though. Without having watched all of their games in detail, Griezmann, from what I've heard, has been very, very good. Like, probably outshone by Mbappe, obviously, but he has been key to a lot of their stuff, so it seems. So Declan Rice should be able to handle him, I think, especially if he's got Henderson beside him.
Yeah.
So on that note, then we'll compare not our predicted teams, but if we were in charge, this is the team that we'd be putting out. So we'll start off with your team, Adam.
Yeah, boy.
Looking very 4-3-3. Business as usual at the back with the same back five we've been using in the last two games. Pickford, Shaw, Maguire, Stones, Walker.
Yeah.
Henderson, Bellingham, Rice. Is that sort of Bellingham advancing a little bit more from that three, right?
Yeah, so basically it's a middle three, but I think it's going to be Bellingham in more of that number 10 role, pushing forward, bombing forward like we've seen in the past couple of games. So essentially it is going to be a 4-2-3-1, but I just figured we don't know which one of them is going to be pushing higher up. Well, I know it's not going to be Rice, but I know Henderson likes to get forward and Bellingham likes to get forward, so I think they might alternate. I think they're just going to utilise both of them to be playing in that number 10 role, just to move into the channels.
Yeah, absolutely. And Foden out wide on the left, Saka on the right, and Kane up top.
Yeah. Kane, I had to keep Kane there because obviously he ended up scoring, didn't he? So I can't see Southgate dropping him.
He's captain of the team as well for a reason. You know, I think
Yeah.
his presence alone, he's got goals in him. I think now he's, like you said, he's got one on the score sheet now, so he'll be looking to keep the ball running on that.
Yeah. Oh,
For
yeah.
my team, very very similar, slightly different format. I've got Bellingham just advancing higher up, and I had to stay true to myself and what I've been saying and putting Rashford out instead of Foden. Now, Foden was good, obviously, in the last game. Don't get me wrong, but he had that mistake in him. It was a very Mason Mount versus USA, just a heavy touch here or a bad turn there. He got the job done, but you know, I just think Rashford from the start. I think Foden's a very very good option to come off the bench. But yeah, exactly the same team as you, mate, but just with that one change.
So is this the team you think he's going to pick?
No,
or
this is who I would pick. So
who you'd pick? Yeah,
we'd
yeah,
essentially
okay.
pick the same team, but you've got Foden instead of Rashford.
Yeah. Okay, yeah.
Sterling is rejoining the camp, which surprised me. Do you think that means
Yeah,
he's a
I've seen that
shoe-in?
today. No, he's not been training, is he?
No.
No, I think he'll be on the bench, but do you know what I mean? I don't think. I mean, what rights he got to be chucked straight back in the team?
No.
None.
It's like you say.
He'll be stuck on the bench, but that's about it, mate.
It's like you say. He's not been training. He's been on a plane backwards and forwards from
Yeah.
Qatar to England and dealing with some stuff emotionally. I don't see why he's even come back. Like, I'm not saying, oh, just stay at home. It'll be nice to be back in camp with the boys, but realistically, he's got more important stuff going on at home. Like, just stay at home, be with your family. Like, I don't know. You know, let's say we lose to France on Saturday. Is Gareth Southgate or anyone really going to be going, you know, we could have avoided this, lads, if only Raheem was back?
Yeah.
So,
no, exactly. Yeah.
I don't know. It is what it is, but hopefully everything's fine with him. Hopefully he can do some good for us if he does play. But yeah, like you say, I can see him not even being involved as a sub, just based on everything. But we'll see. We'll see. There's still plenty of time to go until the game. 2 full days, essentially. So,
Yeah.
one guy that will be happy if England beat France, Steve McLaren, as you can see here, got his hands on the World Cup already. Hang on, sorry, just getting news in that is actually not Steve McLaren. It is just a random England fan pictured in the crowd. Do apologise for that. What a guy! Honestly, he's just embodied the English spirit, but
Oh, he's loving life.
everything optimistic about it. I mean, I wish I could be that optimistic, but a staple of Andy on the Pretend Pundits is we're not getting carried away until we've won a big game. We haven't won a big game in this World Cup yet. Don't come at me saying Wales are better than they've ever. Shut up! Like, no, we've not won a big game yet. Like, our biggest game that we played was a draw, so that says enough about our World Cup so far, right?
Yeah.
Sean's in the comments. Welcome in, Sean. He said 5-0 Andy, let's go. Hey, tell me honestly now, there was a part of you that thought it was going to be 5-0 against Senegal, right? We're all in agreement on that. I was like, oh my God, it's happening.
No, I didn't think it was still going to hit the 5.
At the third, there was like, oh, there's time.
Nah, I was pretty confident that wasn't going to happen.
Well, I was surprised because who came on? Rashford and someone else. There was 2 attacking changes, and I was like, okay.
Rashford and Grealish, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's just like, right, we're going attacking now. Andy said 5-0, let's make it happen. I don't get that comment though, Sean. Comparing the French team against the England team, I think you'd have more English than French. Do you mean like in a combined 11?
Yeah, so if we was looking at a combined 11, like, would we have more French players than English players?
Ooh, I tell you what. I wish I'd have thought about doing a combined 11.
Yeah. I'm trying to think.
Well, start off easy. We'll go through it quickly as much as we can. Like, starting off in goal, you'd have Lloris, right?
Oh, no.
For fuck's sake.
I'd have Ramsdale.
Oh, right. Okay. So, yeah.
I'd honestly have
We're
Ramsdale
just
over Lloris.
a combined England versus France bench then. No, from what you've seen in the World Cup so far.
Oh, from the World Cup, yeah, I'd go. Oh, yeah, Lloris. No, I can't say not Lloris.
So to make life easier, then we'll stick with the 4-2-3-1, which we've seen the most. So you've got Lloris. You'd have
Yeah,
who would you have at left back? Would you have Theo Hernandez or would you have Shaw?
Theo Hernandez.
Would you have Maguire or who's even playing at centre back for them? Kanate?
No, Koundé.
Upamecano?
No, is it? No,
Let's let me just have.
Let me have a look.
Yeah, I was going to say I'll have a quick flick through. I'm sure it's Upamecano and Kanate, right? Oh, Varane! How? Oh my God! Shame on me.
Shame on you.
Shame. Right. Shame. I'm just hanging.
So they play 5 at the back.
I'm not talking anymore.
Oh,
I'm not
okay.
talking anymore ever again. Like Koundé, right back. Interesting.
They're playing Koundé, right? Right. Yeah. Okay. All right. Let's go off that then.
That's shameful. That is absolutely shameful. Okay, so I'd have, from what I've seen so far, I'd have Maguire and Varane.
Okay. Yeah, I'll go. Yeah, I'll go Maguire and Upamecano.
Okay, so that's 2-2. No, that's 3-1 to France.
Yeah.
Varane can't go in that team if I can't remember his name. Hey, I thought he was injured. He normally is, right? Right back, I'd definitely have Walker over Koundé. I'd have Koundé at centre back, but
yeah, so would I. I'd have Carl Walker at right back, definitely.
we're doing what we're doing. Tchouaméni Rabiot in CDM versus Declan Rice, Jordan Henderson. Rice and Tchouaméni.
Yeah, Rice and Tchouaméni, yeah.
Dembele, Griezmann, Mbappe versus what's it been mostly? Bellingham, Saka, Sterling.
Yeah,
Saka, Mbappe, Bellingham.
Yeah.
And Giroud or Kane.
Giroud every day.
So that's like 7-4 to France, I think.
Yeah.
Just as a quick off the whim. I'll tell you what. I don't know. No, next episode's Sunday, so it'll be too late by then. We'll have a think. We'll have a think about it, and then we'll get one posted to Twitter. A combined France.
Yeah.
We'll get one posted before the game, so either tomorrow or Saturday morning.
Yeah.
And we'll have a proper look at the teams and who's been playing the most minutes. But I still think France would take it personally. I wonder if Ben White has suffered a similar issue. I don't know what's gone on with Ben White. There's some rumours that's going around Twitter that I'm not going to repeat.
Yeah, I've seen them, and I believe, I think it could be that.
What the rumours suggest.
Yes.
Yeah.
If we're on about the same thing.
Yeah, I don't advise people to go searching this sort of stuff on Twitter usually because Twitter is an absolute cesspit of the worst scum known to man and a few facts sprinkled in. But have a look on what people are saying about Ben White. There's not normally smoke without fire, but just when you're on Twitter, as always, just take what you see with a pinch of salt.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think they're going to be very, very hard to break down. I just think based on everything about France and everything about England, what we've seen so far, if we start slow against them, we've got no chance. But if we go hammering at them, they've got a solid enough defence, and they've got Mbappe and Dembele running on the counter. So
that's when we've got to be so careful how we play this game.
Yeah. Could you see even Southgate going to a 5-back? I can't personally because I think why change something that's been in inverted commas working?
Yeah,
but
I think what he might look at doing is maybe trying to play another holding midfielder along Rice. Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah,
I think that might be an option. Maybe start with Phillips and Rice.
Yeah.
know.
It's not a game for big risks, but I can see why he'd do it.
Yeah.
It's one of them things, isn't it? It's like Man City versus Chelsea in the Champions League final. Pep just took a risk for the sake of it and took Rodri out and played with no CDM, and it backfired. So
Yeah, why would you do
So
that?
sometimes you've just got to stick with what you know. If you lose the way that you know, you don't want to change things up at the last minute. I'd like to see him stick with a 4 and have faith that we can do it. But all of that being said, Aidan, let's get your score prediction. Everyone who's in the chat and the comments as well, get your prediction in. Your prediction
Right,
with your head, Aidan, not with your heart.
Yeah, no, I think. Going to finish 1-1, and we're going to lose it. We're going to get knocked out on penalties.
I thought you was going to say exactly the same as what I was thinking. I'm thinking it's going to be 1-1 in full time, and we're going to be knocked out, but in extra time.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't know. I love penalty shootouts, but certainly not when England are in them.
Yeah, they're a bit nervy.
I just can't watch them. Sean Dixon saying a penalties win for us. Paulina saying 2-1 to France. In penalties?
Oh.
Yeah. A lot of the same sort of consensus then. Penalties. We win on penalties. England after penalties. So we're in for a long Saturday night then. Better get some beers in.
Yeah, Jesus Christ. I'm at work Saturday. I'm going to be all over the place watching this game.
Another thing to look out for, the watch along. I'm still sitting on the fence about doing the watch along. So if I do a watch along, I think it means I can't have beers. So yeah, we'll see. Again, just keep an eye on the Twitters and the socials. If there's going to be a watch along, I'll post it up on there. But
yeah,
I don't know. Right. Hopefully we don't take pens like the Japanese. Yeah, Sean, like we said, I don't know if you was here early in the show, but we was just comparing the 2 penalty shootouts that we've seen. Just awful penalties, honestly.
Yeah, shocking.
Moving on to, a subject I said that I was never going to talk about again. Cristiano Ronaldo. So we won't get caught up on it for too long because I just feel exhausted just saying Cristiano Ronaldo at this point. But he's been circling around all the tabloids and on socials about what's been going on recently. So he was the headline started when he was dropped. It started at the start of the day. He was dropped for the game against Switzerland. And the reason that was stated was because he had a disagreement with the coach. So is this sounding familiar? Is this sounding like a common denominator? Not only to make things worse for Ronaldo, his replacement scored a hat-trick, never had an international start for his country. And I'll tell you what, I can't remember the third goal, but his first 2 goals, God, what finishes they were. Honestly, the first goal, he just turned and smashed it into the roof of the net from like the edge of the 6-yard box. Yeah. And the second one, he just adjusted his foot, used the power of the cross just to get it past the keeper. Sommer, he did get something on it. I think it just hit the inside of his leg. But, mate, by God, there were some finishes.
Is that young lad, isn't he?
Goncalo Ramos, his name is.
Yeah,
for Benfica.
He's a young one.
Yeah.
He's going to be the next one to be linked to Premier League, no doubt now.
Yeah, Sean says that Ramos was sublime all game. From what I saw, mate, he was absolutely outstanding. And just to think, he's sitting there in his hotel going, oh my God, I'd love to take Ronaldo's place one day. Before you know it, he is. And not only is he taking Ronaldo's place, but he's scoring. Like, as much as I've had to say about Ronaldo, I feel bad for the guy because I just think, and this is what I've said since the Piers interview, that he's just struggling to accept that he's getting old and he's going to have to move on.
Yeah,
I think a lot of people owe Eric Ten Hag an apology for saying that he's wrong for dropping Ronaldo. I think he's literally just done an interview where all the focus was on him, and he said, I should be playing at the top level. And then a week later, it's very close to him moving to a Saudi team, like Al Nasra or whatever. Like, come on, mate. Like, what are you talking about?
I'm sure. Did I see earlier he come out and said that that's not happening? I don't know how true that is. Pretty sure it was on Sky Sports, but I don't know if that's true or not. I've just seen Cristiano Ronaldo is not start. So this game against Switzerland is the first time he's not started a game for Portugal at a major tournament since 2008, which was also against Switzerland, ending a 31 game streak.
So he's played 31 games. He started 31 games in a row, essentially.
Yeah, for Portugal in major tournaments. Last time he did it was against Switzerland.
And I think if it was 4 years ago, I think he could have a ding-dong with the manager, but there's no chance he's getting dropped. But now he is coming to the end of his career. He's got that missing yard of pace. It's all there. It's all adding up. I'm completely opposite to what I said before now about thinking he's going to Chelsea. Chelsea just wouldn't. I don't know. He could still play at the. It depends what you call the top level. Would you say the top level is Champions League or Premier League?
Well, yeah, top level is Premier League. Yeah, well, it's Champions League, isn't it? That is the elite level.
Can you see him playing in the Champions League still?
No, I can't say it's Champions League's playing at the elite level because obviously there is little teams in there who don't really fucking do much. I'd say you'd have to be one of the top 4 teams in one of the big leagues. That's the elite level. Like Man City, Real Madrid, Barcelona, Liverpool, United.
So,
well, not United, obviously, in a minute, but
so the way I see it is, it can be surmised very, very quickly. If he takes that Saudi Arabia move for the money, does that just completely undermine him and everything he said against Piers Morgan?
Yeah, I think it'd be stupid to take it, but then I don't think he'll want to just sit and retire. So I think he will. If nothing comes up, he'll take it just so he's got a club.
I don't think he'd be stupid to take it, though. I don't think he'd be stupid to take it. If you're 37 years of age and you're getting offered a ridiculous amount of money in Saudi Arabia, who you've seen they're promising with their players. So there's obviously some sort of uplift in what they appear about football and what they're doing about it, and they want to improve it, and they're willing to pay. Take it, bite their hand off, but don't go and sit down with Piers Morgan doing an interview or giving these headlines to people saying I deserve to be playing at the top level.
It's gonna be. I think it's just gonna be a case of seeing what happens over the next couple of weeks.
And
come January, mate. With his new club, I think it might be America.
He knows it as well. He knows exactly what that will do to his image.
Yeah, I think he might just fuck off back to Sporting, mate, and just call it.
Yeah, I'd like to see that. If anything, obviously, I just wouldn't like to see him at a Premier League opponent because you know that anything you say is going to come back to bite you in the arse. But I just think he needs to now accept that he plays a lesser role in things. Like if Portugal get to the final after the 75th minute, if he has started, he shouldn't be seeing the game out. He shouldn't be the person that you call upon, first name on the team sheet. He might be there to come on as a sub. He might just be there to give the players good spirits. But yeah.
Yeah, well, I think it's safe to say he won't be starting the next game after that fucking young lad's performance, Gonzalo Ramos.
And it's justified. It's fully justified.
Yeah, you can't drop him now. Just got a hat trick. Like, come on.
Exactly. We'll see what comes out with that. I'm not bothered anymore about it, but I just would like to see what is next for Cristiano Ronaldo. Yeah, Sean, when they won the Euros and Ronaldo was on the touchline orchestrating the match like the manager, the media praised it. I thought it was hugely disrespectful on his manager. Yes and no, because now all this stuff has gone on with Ronaldo. I question it. I question it as to Was he doing it for the team, or was he doing it because he knew cameras was on him? I don't want to undermine him in any way, because even from what the players say, he is big to the team, and he always is going to be big to the team. Like Maradona was massive to the Argentina team. They still all look up to Maradona like an inspiration. So
Yeah, no, that's true.
it might be different now that he's sort of passed on, but certainly in the last World Cup, even just having him around the team, they said, "Fucking hell, he's a legend, he's an icon." And now I'm a part of this team that he was. It's just probably one of them things. We'll see. January should be interesting, mate. We've got plenty to talk about when it comes to transfers.
Yeah.
Aidan texted me earlier this week, giddy, like it was Christmas Eve already.
Yeah.
Saying, look at this headline. Look at this headline. João Felix is coming to Villa.
It's a possibility.
It is a possibility. I mean, anything's a possibility, right? And it annoys me that this is a thing. I always get suckered in. I love a transfer rumor. I love a transfer story. And
Yeah, I do.
Until you hear Fabrizio Romano saying, "Here we go," or someone on Sky Sports pinging it out on your notifications, just be very, very careful what you get carried away with.
That's what I'm waiting for.
Gakpo's come out and addressed his chances of moving. He said himself that he was 99% away from going to Leeds, but he made it clear that he didn't want to. His transfer fee has changed from 40 million to 50 million to 75 million to 110 million this week. So,
wow.
Yeah, it'll be changing as we speak, but we'll just wait and see. January is right around the corner.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think who the other one was. I think it's always when performances happen, like the Morocco keeper Bonu. He's been linked with a move ever since they beat Spain. Man United got linked with Jan Sommer from Switzerland. The headline actually said that he was guaranteed a giant Premier League move. Like,
who was?
Jan Sommer, the Switzerland goalkeeper. So apparently, I think it's just agent noise, but apparently he's on the verge of a big big January move to the Prem.
But which club? What club is getting on now? I don't think it's going to be a massive move. He's been around fucking ages.
The thing is, they put that headline out before the game where he conceded 6, so...
Yeah, that big move, mate's gone out the window.
Exactly. More like Anthony, Sean says. Yeah, the less we talk about that, the better. I did see something flash up about the Glazers. Just literally minutes before we pressed go live. I didn't see what it was. It was just a flash. It was something about dividends. So either they're taking more money out of the club, shock horror, or they've decided, actually, no, we're not going to for once. But I've seen pigs fly before. A big transfer story that came out today, and it's been sort of going around for the last few days. There's a player from, is it Palmeiras in Brazil? Felipe Endrick has gone to Madrid.
He is, what is he, 15, 16? Yeah, he's 16, I think. 85 million, I believe.
Mate, what the fuck?
Hell of a player. Goal scoring machine, mate. The next Haaland. It'll be the next R9.
I mean,
calling it.
I understand it because he was a hot prospect. He dropped out. I think PSG dropped out of the running for him a couple of days ago.
Okay.
And since then, it's just escalated. And yeah, Fabrizio tweeted out today that he's joined Madrid, or he's going to be joining them in 2024.
Yeah, it'll be when he's
18.
Of age. 18, yeah, he's got to be 18.
So, Brazilian wingers are Madrid, right?
He's a striker.
Is he?
Yeah, he can play out on the wing, but he's primarily a striker.
Okay.
It's like Neymar. Like, he can play out wide, but can play striker. But he's a striker, but can play out wide. I think he's got like a stupidly high goal scoring record.
Yeah, and Sean says a
Ridiculous.
non-Haaland clause in the contract so that he can't leave on the cheap as well. Yeah, La Liga, honestly, they have put some. I'm going to have to find another couple of examples for this. They've put some ridiculous clauses in some players' contracts in La Liga.
They tend to in the Spanish league.
It's crazy. Who was it? Someone recently got a 1 billion release clause. Was it Pedri?
Yeah,
Like, come on, like.
yeah, it's fucking mental because then they know players won't leave cheap.
Well, I was going to say, is that it? Is putting a billion release clause just them saying you're not fucking leaving?
Basically saying you're not leaving unless you leave for what we tell you you're leaving for.
Yeah, Sean Pedri has 1 bill. Yeah, there was Pedri, and then there was another one. I can't remember who it was. I think it was a Portuguese player who got like a 700 million one. It's pretty crazy, but it's a statement of intent from Real Madrid. I think that, you know, if everyone wants them, you know, if PSG are eyeing them up and other teams are eyeing them up, you've got him nailed down. But it's going to work one of two ways for you, isn't it? You're going to have a Ballon d'Or winner, best player in the world potential, or you're just going to have wasted 80 million. And
yeah, he's going to end up going elsewhere.
Time will tell. But yeah, it's news that you're not going to avoid seeing a 16-year-old brought for 80 million.
No, it's fucking mental, but fucking 80 million for him.
Yeah.
Hell of a signing, though, I think. I think he'll be class.
A lot of pressure on his shoulders, though.
Yeah. Yeah, but I think he's got 2 more years then at Palmeiras. Or a year and a half, should we say? A year and a half there at Palmeiras.
Mm-hmm.
Getting plenty of game time because I think he's been starting for the men's team since the past year, if not more.
Mm-hmm.
Scoring goals, and then he's going to go to Real Madrid when he's 18. He won't get straight into the first team, I don't think. He'll do a year or two training there, or maybe a year. Keep banging goals in the under 19s or whatever team they're called over there, and then he'll jump into the fucking first team, mate, and you watch him.
Real Madrid Castilla, I think they're called.
Yeah, you watch him, mate.
Yeah, I mean, the last very prominent prospect that I remember from Real Madrid was one young Martin Odegaard.
Oh yeah.
So.
Oh yeah. Well, and Vinicius.
Yeah, I mean, he's still like living up to his potential at the minute, but I mean, the young prospect that was.
Yeah, they've got another one. Young, I think he's Japanese. Who's meant to be like world class, but I can't remember his name now.
I don't know. I think South America seems to be the place to scout for.
Yeah, South America's always
you
the
got
place to scout.
Julian Alvarez at Man City, who's absolutely flying for Argentina and for Man City, to be fair. So, yeah, time will tell. Who else? Tchouaméni, Camavinga, just Real Madrid just snapping up talent, mate. And if they can make it work, then.
But if they can make it work, mate, they're fucking laughing, aren't they? Like, look at their middle three.
Yeah.
Now, Tchouaméni, Camavinga, and Valverde.
Sean, just beat me to it, Andy. Hey, maybe if Felipe Hendrick is lucky, he might end up playing for Arsenal one day when he gets this Real Madrid nonsense out of his system. Playing for the 2023 Premier League winners Arsenal.
Oh, imagine. Imagine.
Yeah, I think we need to start getting excited for the Prem again, mate, because what we're going to talk about when England get knocked out.
Yeah, true.
Yeah. We'll see.
When's the Prem back on?
I believe it's Boxing Day.
What, that's the first game back?
I think so, mate, yeah.
You're winding up, that's ages
But
away.
it could be delayed. I think there's a thing, isn't there? Like if there's a one team that's got a lot of players missing, then their game gets delayed.
Oh, okay.
Like,
we've got Liverpool.
Like for the Euros, I think there was a few 3 or 4 games delayed because we was in it for the duration.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we've got. Oh no, actually, I think we've got the EFL Cup before Prem. United have. Aston Villa haven't because yeah, we've got Burnley as our first game when we come back.
Oh, there's Carabao Cup, yeah. Man City, Liverpool.
Let me see.
Who you got?
We
Yeah, Burnley on the 21st.
big Vince.
Oh, company's gonna make mincemeat out of you.
Burnley
I hope he makes fucking mincemeat out of
have sold all of their Prem quality players anyway, so they're toast, mate. They are absolutely toast.
you. Burnley are flying at the minute, aren't they? I'm sure they're like second or third in the league or top.
I don't know actually. We've got them on the 21st. Oh yeah, they are top.
They're top.
God, I don't want Burnley back in the Prem for God's sake. They're so boring.
Yeah, they are bored. Well, maybe they'll change now with
Oh,
company as manager. They're not having Sean Dyche
no.
managing them
Mate, Burnley
with-
has no colour. Have you ever been to Burnley? It's probably grey everywhere.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Their ground looks awful. Their kit looks awful. Their manager's just annoying.
I hope after all this they turn you over.
No, I don't want them to turn us over, and they won't, because it's like their only way of beating Man United is just to turn up with their boring kits and their boring manager and their boring faces, put our defense to sleep just by talking, and then run it around us. They fuck off. It's like bloody Will from the In-Betweeners said, I don't really care for football, but Burnley can fuck off.
Yeah. No,
So 2 home games. What's your running like when you're back? Then it's we've got Burnley in the cup, Forest away, Forest at home, Wolves away, Bournemouth at home. So I'm happy with that, I have to say.
we've got Liverpool Boxing Day. Oh God. Oh fucking hell.
It's just sunk
Liverpool-
in how bad the run is back.
No, it's not that bad to be fair. We've got Liverpool at home, Boxing Day. Then we've got Tottenham away January 1st. Wolves on the 4th at home. Then we've got Stevenage in the FA Cup at home. Leeds at home, and then Southampton away.
It's not that bad. We've got Liverpool and then Spurs. Cries internally.
Yeah, but then after that, it's all right.
It's all right. Ings, Mings, and pretty shit evenings.
Yeah, that could be the fucking title. Jesus Christ.
Honestly, I'd fancy you to beat Liverpool more than Spurs at the minute, to be fair. I don't know. It's exciting. I want the Prem back, Aiden.
Yeah, I do. I'm dying for the fucking Prem back now. I just want to get this World Cup over and done with. Get England to win it.
I feel guilty for even saying it, like for even wanting the World Cup to be over, because I fucking love the World Cup and the Euros, but I've just not had enough to be excited yet.
No, yeah, I think it's weird because it's Christmas. Like, it just doesn't feel the same. Like, it's not the same kind of vibe of the World Cup. Like the Euros, I booked every game off because of summer, and I was out
That's it.
all day, every fucking game for England. And then this one, I've literally worked them all, and I've not really been that arsed about getting excited because it just doesn't feel the same when you just sat at home, like on your own with your phone in your hand and watching the game in the background.
Yeah, I think it is that. I think I'll never want the World Cup to end if we beat France on Saturday, but I don't know.
Oh, imagine if we beat France Saturday. Get to the final, mate. Brazil, 0-0. 91st minute. Phil Foden creeps in at the back post from a big cross from Kyle Walker and just slots it in. Go 1-0 up against Brazil.
Who did you say? Phil Foden?
Phil Foden.
Getting on the
I
header?
see it. No, not a little header. He's going to drop just at his feet. He's going to slide and stretch and just slot it in.
Oh, what about a slabhead top bins header?
Fucking hell, that'd be history made, mate. If he scored, imagine if he won the World Cup. No one could ever slag him off ever again.
Harry Maguire's statue in Trafalgar Square. Get Nelson out of here. Get Harry Maguire on that plinth right now. Yeah.
Fucking hell, mental would be scenes, wouldn't it?
Oh, Aiden, I'm all giddy. I want it to be real, but I just don't believe it.
No,
Come on.
I don't, unfortunately.
Come on, boys. You know what you have to do. Southgate, you're the one. You still turn me on. Fucking beat France. Oh.
Cunt home again.
Get us a tie with Portugal in the semis, Brazil in the final.
I think if England win the World Cup, I think if they won the World Cup, the day they won it, mate, I'd have an absolute meltdown.
Mm-hmm.
I'd be missing for like 4 days, if not more.
Sean Dixon says, imagine the number of pigeons that could fit on Maguire's head.
On his head statue.
Oh my god.
Oh, they'd fucking ace, wouldn't they?
All of
They look
them.
like that pigeon woman off Home Alone.
Yeah. Piers
Piers Morgan.
Piers Morgan's mum.
Yeah.
All the pigeons in London would fit there. Yeah, it would be a mandatory holiday that on the anniversary, everyone in England's got to wear a waistcoat.
Absolutely.
I
think you'd be allowed to have that day off work.
I
I
agree.
think that everything should shut down that day.
Mm-hmm. One game we actually did look over. I say that if we win, we're playing Portugal. Morocco, mate. I tell you what, that will be a tasty little game.
Yeah.
I know Portugal absolutely blitz past Switzerland, but Morocco are not pushovers. They're very, very good. It'll be a very attacking game.
It's going to be an interesting game. It's definitely going to be an interesting game.
But that's the game to get, the old nips tingling, ready for Saturday evening, Saturday afternoon. Morocco, Portugal.
Who's first? Is it Morocco, Portugal, then France, England in the evening?
Yeah, they'll be at 3:00. I'd have thought.
Jesus. Poor England in the evening.
Let me just double check, guys. We don't like misinformation here on the Pretend Pundits. Yeah, 3 p.m. Morocco, Portugal.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it's good. Going to be a good couple of days football, mate.
Listen to your voice now.
I'm giddy. I'm a little bit giddy. I'm not optimistic about England, but I'm giddy. All right.
Yeah.
I got that feeling in my plums.
Oh, I can feel it down in my plums.
Okay. That just about wraps us up for today, then, mate.
Yeah.
Guys in the chat, thank you very much again for showing up as always. If you haven't done so already, just drop a little thumbs up like on the video. You'd love to see it.
Absolutely.
Help us send the videos out to more people. We'll get more people involved in these discussions. In the description, as always, we've got our links, our own personal links and all the pundit links. Drop us some follows on socials. Get involved. Leave some comments. Do your thing. We'd love to see you over there. And yeah, I believe I'm ruling out for now the watch along. I'm not completely. Keep an eye on the socials. If we're going to do a watch along, it will be posted. But if not, we'll see you back on Sunday.
Absolutely.
Aidan, thank you very much, mate. Guys in the chat, again, thank you very much for supporting us and what we do. Episode number 10 coming on Sunday.
Jesus Christ, double digits.
See you later, guys. Peace out.
Bye, guys. See you later.